Hi everyone, just to say good morning. It's been a big couple of days, so I'm just going to put the volume on 0. Otherwise when I click on things you'll hear my voice again. So welcome to the Great International Craft Show. I haven't put up my schedule yet, which I will do today, but my first one is going to be one of my favorite tools. And this is the Pounce Pads. This is my favorite. So I absolutely adore these. These are fantastic for those who are starting out in the quilting. And hi Yvonne, good morning everyone. So I just wanted to go through how I use them, how I keep them. I'm pretty rough with them. So I've got in here, not always are they like that. That's pretty neat for me. They are big monster scissors, jack scissors. Good morning, Sandy. And I've got in here also, I did have my other bits. I have my Pounce Pads. And also, good morning, Catherine and Sharon and Sue. Helen, good morning. And also in this bag, I have the actual powder. And an extra. That's because my blue one's almost running out. Hi Louise. And so I thought I'd just show you how I keep them. I've started putting lugger bands around them just because I had one come apart, like open, and then I had dust everywhere. So I thought rather than wasting them, I would actually put a lugger band around them and have some sort of organisational skills going on. This is just a rough example of what you can do. So I did this at one of the shows, and it just shows you very easy to see how you can get that stitched out, and it does take only minutes to do. All right, so if you haven't tried the Pounce Pads, there's a way to do it when you get a brand new one. Okay, I'm not sure what color this is. So it's a pink one. All right, when you get it, it will be clean. It'll be all that color. It'll be just clean. They will be empty in here. So I'll get my fingernails in there. And it's like a little well. So it's a bit tough to get out. You might need someone with nails. There we go. You can see. And there's not much powder in there, so I can show you how to fill it up. So you would, originally when you first get it, you would literally fill it right up. Now, I keep mine in a bag, and the reason why is because they implode. So that is actually, I had to put it in another bag, that is actually a Pounce Pad that I did not keep properly, and the powder just went everywhere. So I keep that now as an example of what not to do. And if you don't keep them the way I'm showing you, that's what will happen to all of them, and it becomes a real waste. So first things first, whoops days, there's a pin in that. For some reason someone's decided to put a pin in a bag with powder, which is a little bit silly, and it wasn't me. So we're going to very tentatively, I open up the bag and then I re-shut it. If I can get it to do it yet, there we go. And I re-shut it down. Might not work so well with this one. Oh, there we go. It's just starting to. Might try the other side. And zip it back down until you've got, there we go, I can feel it now. Until you've got about a finger in there, okay? So that's going to be like your funnel. It might not have closed because it's had a pin in it, and that won't help. So once you've got that, and even if you can't get it to close, you can still pop your finger in there, and on the other hand, holding the bag, push it open like a little pouring spout. Hi Linda. And then just pour in. Just like that. Oops, it is. And then tap it back down. And close it back up. Now this one here, I'm going to pour into my other one that hasn't been used as a pincushion, because that's what happens when you do. So try not to put pins in them, just FYI. So this one will be much easier to use. So we'll see if I can get this to work on camera. Just open that right out, squish it all up, put it inside the other one, and tip it upside down. Give it a good shake. That's the best way to transfer one to another bag. All right, if you try and pour it, you're probably going to make an awful mess. So that's now my new bag for the pink. That now zips up nice and firm. I am going to get rid of this bag because it does have a lot of dust that can go to there for the bin. And then put the bag in a bag, okay, so for storage. Just that way, you're not going to have a whole heap of mess, okay? But make sure that first one, the initial one inside, how much is a refill, please? Cherie, the refills, I think, 13 or 15 off the top of my head. Hang on, 13 on that one I've got. So it could be about 13 or 15. I'm not too sure what the new ones are. That one I've had for a while. Somewhere in there. So, once you've done that, you've got that powder in, bang that down. Now the chalk will go everywhere, but it does wash out nice and easy. First thing you've got to do, and this is the Pounce Pad side of it. Good morning, Claire. And it's going to make a lot of noise. And what you're going to do, and think of your worst person on the earth, or you know, someone that you really don't like, and just bang it like that. And that will get all that chalk onto here. That's the only time you're going to pounce, or in your hand, okay? Otherwise, you don't need to. So I have a Pounce Pad for each colour, so one will be pink, one will be white, one will be blue. The only one that actually, hi Karen, that actually will iron off is the white. The pink and the blue all need to be either wiped off, like dusted off, or they need to be washed out, okay? So don't go sticking an iron onto something that has been pounced with the blue or the pink. Then what you do is you get yourself your piece of fabric. Now, normally you would have, it would be sandwiched. That one probably, yeah, that'll do. I'll just use a section of it. This is great for Quilt As You Go. Good morning, Julie. Because Quilt As You Go, you could actually, for your quilts, you know, for your blocks, you've set out your quilt, your block, sorry, with say applique or whatever, then you can pounce on it and quilt it in one go. All right. So let's just give this a quick trim. Whoops, days. Nice and neat, aren't I? And I'll chuck that one on top. See, it's got some dust on it. That's because it's been in the bag with all that dust. Love those huge. Yeah, they're gorgeous, aren't they? So I might actually turn it over so you can see what's going on. There we go. Okie doke. So then once you've got your bit of your sandwich ready, it's time to now figure out what stencil you're going to use. Now you can, with these stencils, I've got some really cute ones we just got in, which are absolutely adorbs. And depending on what you're actually quilting as to what pattern, I'm going to use the lovely little dragonfly, because who doesn't love a good dragonfly? But first things first, I wanted to show you what happens if the grandies get a hold of them and they do this, or they get lost, you know, in the bottom of a bag, and you've got this, okay? Because these full line stencils are made from a material that is designed to take heat. It's designed to go in the dishwasher. It's designed to take the pouncing of the powders. It can be washed, it can be anything, and it can be scrunched up. So you don't have to worry about keeping them flat, okay? Once you've got one off your grandkids, you've got them out of their, you know, grotty hands, and they've had breakfast and they've put Wheat Bix all over them and everything, and you've given it a wipe down, and you want to iron it because you want it to go nice and flat. Okay, so just give it a quick iron, and all of a sudden, all those little creases are gone. How amazeballs is that? Hey? That is cool. Now remembering, if you do have the blue or pink powder on that, the blue and pink will stay. Okay, so you can see here, I have ironed over the top of the pink, and you can see it stays. That doesn't bother me, but it might bother other people. So I always let them know, if you iron and you haven't wiped this down first, and get the blue or pink off, then that blue and pink will stay there. It won't hurt anything, but it will stay on the actual fabric. Good morning, Chris. So now I've ironed that nice and flat because, you know, my best friend's grandchild decided to pick it up with their Wheat Bix hands, and, you know, kids do these things. Or I've stuffed it in the bottom of a bag in a hurry to pack up and not realised I've stuck about 6,000 things on top of it, and it's scrunched up. I've already pounced that on the table, made all that noise, and I've got all that powder in there. They suggest you keep it stored upside down so that all that powder in the lid just sits on top of the actual pounce. Good morning, Helen. Get your pounce pad ready, right? You've done the pouncing thing, and then just firmly push down. Good morning, lovely. Push down and swipe. Okay, that's all you have to do. Push down and swipe. And what you'll see when I take this away is you'll see a really, really vibrant pink lines. And I'm going to adjust a little. And see how bright that is, how strong that is. Now that's because it's on black fabric, which is perfect. But as soon as I do this, it'll start to come away. You'll see the little bits come away. So give it a shake, because you don't want all that in your machine. Give it a shake. Don't flick like as in like, don't do that with it. Just give it a shake, and you can still see those lines. See how good they are? They're still there. Now if I iron on top of that, all that pink will stay. So I do not want to touch the iron to this. The other thing is with these also, when you're going to quilt, I always suggest for people to use a foot that is for ruler feet work. So free motion ruler feet work. You can get them there from Westerly, or different companies have them. To even Janome have some for their own, and they've got a high side to them. You can get them for high or low shank, and even industrial. And the reason why I say that is because those feet don't bounce, okay? Because they're going against a ruler that's designed not to bounce, okay? If I bounce on that, it's going to disappear as I go. I don't want it to disappear. I just want to stitch it, yeah? So you can see, as soon as I tap, 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 like a sewing machine would. Oh, sorry about that. That's Rod. Just wait for him to finish. You can see, hang on. He'll stop. He will. I promise. Come on, Rod. So as soon as you tap on that, the line goes away. And when you're sewing and you're sewing on top of that, you really want to be able to see those lines. I'm sorry about that. Come on, Rod. He might go for a little while yet. So that's how that works for me. So apologise for the noise in the background. So is it really loud? Oh, you can hear it. There he goes. He stopped. All right, beautiful. Okay, so you can see that that has taken that line away where I've done that tap, tap, tap thing. So that's what we don't want to happen. So if you use a ruler foot that is designed not to bounce, your lines will stay. The biggest thing I hear back from people, oh, my lines disappear. That is why. So you're on the working farm, we understand how Love how they start making noise. Yes, bad as a kid. Yeah, exactly right. That's all right. I know he's got to do what he's got to do, and he's got to make hay while the sun shines. So, so that's how I love how they work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. Love it. I'm going to take you over to the jack, okay? We're going to go over to the jack, and I'm going to pop on my variegated thread so you can see what I'm doing, and we're going to stitch it out. Whoop, hang on, there he goes. All right, so let me spin this all around. Yeah, without the sun, yeah. Oh, hang on. Hang on a minute. All right, let me just turn the camera around for you. And this, let's go around over to here. And now we have the machine. What sun? Yeah, exactly. Just gonna tighten that up a little, just stop it from moving. And I know my machine is ready and ready to go. I just need to get the thread onto it. And turn my camera around. Here we go. And I will get a chair just right here. And of course, I'll get my thread ready. And I'm going to get a nice variegated one, if I can find one. Of course I don't have one ready and ready to go. Oh, let me grab one. Okay, so I'll just tell you what I'm using right here. Oh, yeah. I'm using a Mirage. Oops, it's a variegated thread from Wonderful, and it is number 13. And I'll find the end of it if I can. Yeah, there we go. And I'll pop that there. And over here, tie it off to this one. So I love this machine for these sort of things. It's so easy to get going. And just move that out of the way. My pen, just going to lift that up purposely. And right, okay, grab that thread, pull it through. Where are my monster scissors when I want them? Yeah. Alright, get that out of the way. Put that. I've got black thread underneath. I still haven't tried the pre-wounds. I am going to do that. And I don't have my eyeballs on. I did find them, but now I've put them somewhere else. I think they're in my handbag. Hang on, shake your hands. Hang on, morning hands. There we go. Good girl. Nice. Okay, so the other thing we need, one of my faves, of course, as you know, are my gloves. I did bury them a minute ago. There they are. And these are my gloves that I like to use. And I find that these just take the pressure of my arms, hands and shoulders. They're good for people who have arthritis. They won't fix arthritis or they won't fix tendonitis, but they will. Hi Cassidy, how you going, honey? But they will actually reduce the tension and the strain of holding as we do when we free motion. So lifting up my foot, finding a spot to start. So, goes hubby again. So I'm going to start somewhere in the middle, and I'm going to put my needle down. And you can bring up your bobbin if you want to. You don't have to. With this one I am, for some unknown reason. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, I will. And I'll just do a couple of stitches. And lift up my needle. I'm going to move that out. So for those who don't know Cassidy, Cassidy is over in Colorado in America. Welcome, honey. How's mum and dad going? Now, also with a ruler foot, you've got to make sure that you don't have it too high off. Oh, I love these gloves. You don't have it too high off the actual fabric, otherwise you'll end up with big jump stitches, okay? So, can you all hear me really well? All going okay so far? You're going to hear him drilling and carrying on. Alright, so let's do this one bit first. And let's, well, that little bit there I couldn't quite see very well because of the, what do they call it when I pounced it off with my finger. So I'm just going to go around and back up here. And just remember, if it's not exactly perfect, it's no big deal. They're doing well, staying busy at the shop, I hope so. I hope that business is really, really strong for them, because as soon as I can get over there, girlfriend, I am over. Looking forward to it. So I got a little bit closer so you can see what we're doing. So now I've come back up to the top here. It looks like a J, doesn't it? Then we're going to do that little bit in the center there. So I'm going to hope that I have got it going right. I'm going to go out this way. I'm going to come back in. And then I'm going to come around. Now, if I make this a little bit different to what the actual pattern is, it doesn't really matter, because once that design is gone, you know, it is mine anyway, and it's going to look like I'm going to do it, like how I make it. So I'm actually going to now do that one in the middle, come back, and then I'm going to come over, like around, and come over and do the other one. So let's hope I do this right. There we go. So nice and steady. I'm going to come back up here, and I'm going to come over and do the other one. And follow it around. Now, some of these designs will have instructions on how to you know, go around them. Most of them are pretty obvious, but when you're learning, it's nice to have those instructions. Mum says we still need to step, and oh, yes, we do, absolutely. I would love that. I would love to do the online thing. I'm just having a look at the other side so I can see what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's wanting me to do the little ones on the inside first. And then come out. And then around. And then it is wanting me to do the head and come back down and do that little circle thing. I think we should do a bleach work one, Cassidy. So I'm going to come around here, do this one, do that one over here, and around. It almost looks like horns. So, and I'm going to come down here to make that swirl. And I have done a little bit different to the pattern, and I'm okay with that. And then I'm going to come out and down. And I'm going to do this wing and then come around to this side. So this one. A little swirl in there. And I want to go in here. And once you've done like, you know, 6 or 7 of the same thing, I just went the wrong way around that swirl, as you can tell, because it looks completely different to the others, but you know, big deal. But once you've done them a couple of times, they will actually, it's like a repetition thing, and it'll just, all of a sudden, the penny will drop and you'll know what you're doing. And I'm going to come back over there and I'm going to lift the needle up. Yes, I think that we need to do a bleach one. I reckon that'd be super awesome for the girls to do a bleach one. It's a bit hard doing a bleach one while we're away from each other. There you go. I'll give it a bit of a shake. Now I'm going to flick it. There we go. Look at that. We now have a dragonfly. He's not perfect, but he's done. And that is cool. There you go. So that's how you use the Pounce Pads. And all of a sudden, you do these blocks and you've got your applique or whatever, even if you wanted to do 10 blocks of dragonflies and do something else in between. They're there, they're done, and you're ready to go on and do your other parts of your quilt. So that is the Pounce Pad. So I'll come back a bit later and I'll show you some of my other favourite tools. So I'm just going to lift this camera so you can actually see my mess in my background. There we go. So thank you again for joining me. I will be back. I'm going to do another couple of demos. I'll put up some info about them soon. Thanks, ladies. Bye.